Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana, Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana, Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana, Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana. Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana.
Namaskaram. Bhushans Academy of Performing Arts and Visual Presentation, Mysore as well as Bangalore, welcomes you for the Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana online festival series that has been happening since August 10th. On our Facebook page, Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana. Every day we have an artist, celebrity, guest, ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಅಡಚಣೆಗಾಗಿ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ. ಭೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಕ ಕಲೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ದೃಶ್ಯ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಈ ದಿನದ ವಿಶ್ವ ನೃತ್ಯ ಗಾನಭೂಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿನದಂತೆ ನಾವು ಈ ದಿನವೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಖ್ಯಾತಿಯ ನೃತ್ಯಾಂಗನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಮ್ಮ ಮನದಾಳದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ದಿನ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಖ್ಯಾತಿಯ ನೃತ್ಯಾಂಗನೆಯಾದಂತಹ ಮಾಲಿಕಾ ಪಾಣಿಕರ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರನ್ನ ಈ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸೋಣ. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us internationally acclaimed Bharatnatyam artist Maalika Panicker, who will be sharing her thoughts, journey so far in this beautiful field. Let's welcome Maalika Panicker to the show. Namaskar.
Namaste.
It's indeed a great pleasure to have you in our show, and we are so happy to have you on Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana panel. Thank you for accepting and being a part of the show.
Thank you so much, Bhushan. It's an honor that all my life, in my soul, which I dedicated to this art, you make me to speak my inner soul today. So I must say, let us pray to the God, whatever it's coming, let it come with the blessing of all the gurus and gods and everyone's blessing. Let's start with something good.
Welcome again. And to start with, how did Maalika, or rather, how did you start this journey? From where were you excited to take up dance, or when was the first time that you thought you should learn dance or be a dancer?
It's a real funny thing happened in my family. My sister used to dance at the beginning, but I was 3 years old, she was 5, and she used to dance, and I used to be so excited. And after that, it just turned over. She stopped dancing, and I started continuing dancing. I was mad. It happened that we were traveling all over the world, India, because my father was in Air Force. And last we came back to Palakkad. One day he surprisingly came and told me, "You love dancing. I found a teacher. Would you like to go and learn dance?" It was like Brahma Vaka for me, like an opening to a big door where I was dreaming when I was 7. Till 7, it was a dream. Suddenly the door opened and I said, yes. So that's the first day my father, mother came to leave me in the teacher's foot. After that, they have never cared about me, what I did, where I went, how I came to this life. But unfortunately, my mother left me when she was 13. Till that, I was dancing, but my mother is now seeing me dancing, and she's there with me with all my life. Past 37 years, she's there with me. So she's witnessing all my journey. So the dancing was at the Murali Natyalayam in Palakkad. Very simple teacher. It was not from any pani or not. They were teaching very, very basic like Ranga Puja. The name is called like Ranga Puja, and Jeriswaram, all were there, but nothing was defined so nicely because Kerala is full of competition. So our aim is to go to competition. We need to learn Varna. All the other things does not matter, whatever is there. Varnam is the only thing you can perform in the competition. But I got this Murali teacher, taught me very basic things, but I just came to meet when I want to go for a competition, Kalamandalam Lata teacher, Guru. She taught me the basic of Bharatnatyam and Mohiniyattam, where I could able to know what's the difference. And because Kalamandala had a basic adavus and things like that in a different manner, not like Kalakshetra, but I could able to learn and go for competition. That's that my journey started. And soon by the 10th standard finished. I went at 8th standard to join Kalakshetra, but they refused to say that you must be learning part-time, then come to full-time. So I went back, finished my 10th standard. Next day I was waiting for the college to open. I am in Kalakshetra. That's my journey from the young age till I was 16, I entered Kalakshetra. There begins my journey.
How difficult was it to start the journey without your parents? At what age did you lose your parents? And it's I can just the thought of imagining a child with no physical parental support is a very difficult thing to digest. How old do you have been?
I started dance at age of 7, and by 13, 12 finished. 13 just coming, my mother passed away. My father is still alive, and I have only one sister. But the journey without mother, because I become self-made person from the age of 13. The minute my mother left, the whole house was on to me. I was cooking, I was dancing, I was studying. I don't know. There was all that my mother did, I could do it. There was nobody taught me. I could cook so well. From the age of that, I used to cook for my father, my sister, and I danced by the time. My father goes in the morning and he comes back in the night, 10 o'clock in the night. So I manage my home, my studies, but I think if I would have had my mother with me, I would have maybe studied more, not going so much deep into dancing. But after the 10th, going to finish, my father asked me, "What is your dream that you want to do? You want to study something else, or you want to go to Dubai or somewhere? There is some work coming." See, that time it was very easy. When 10th standard, you get the job, but what not a big job. But then asked whether the dance. I said, "I think my dancing is important. I better continue there." And because I didn't get very good teaching or learning process in my young age till I was 16, it was only dream. Like youth festival, I see like Vineet, who is to be such a wonderful dancer at that time. And there were so many other dancers, Monisha. They all were like came into movies. So it is a dream of Kerala boys and girls. It's like a madness, you know. We learn with nothing we know. But you ask me to do, I can do everything. You show me one step, I can dance. I could choreograph. I could do anything because it was such a passion. You know, by looking, I used to go to the temple programs, I go different program. I've been very lucky in the young age. I got one of the Kathakali artists who learned in Seva Sadanam in Kerala. He actually showed me the right path of Kathakali to show me, to take me in the holidays, on all the temples in the summer. I have Kathakali. So I used to go at 8 years, I used to go behind him and, you know, he used to dance. So I sit in the green room. So I was seeing Kathakali, observing, I know everything, but my inner my heart and deep in my heart, it was Mohiniyattam, which I was aiming to dance. Unfortunately, I went to Kalamandalam and asked whether they will take me. They said no. We only give Kathakali for the male dancers, and Mohiniyattam and Bharatnatyam, all this is for only female. But I don't want to join Kalamandalam to learn Kathakali because I was quite tall. And I know I was so aware of the man who had told me, if you're too tall, you only will get Chonatadi or the Karivesham. You will never get Pachavesham or Strivesham. Definitely, even if you're pretty or even if you're any good, you are cast into one character, your lifelong you'll become only that. I said, I don't want to spend 8 years of my life and become a Chonadi. I rather learn Bharatnatyam. And I searched. That's the time in 86, Rukmini Devi, Srimati Rukmini Devi passed away. And there was documentaries coming in TV. So it was a black and white TV in my house. I saw under the banyan tree, there was male dancers dancing with a veshti. So I was thinking, what is this institution? I don't know. Then I immediately the same night my father arrived, I gave him good food and asked him. I saw something in the TV called Kalakshetra or in Chennai or something like that. They were seeing male dancers dancing under the tree. Could you ask or inquire about that? So he went and inquired because he had a good friend in Chennai. So he said, yes, this is the institution name called Kalakshetra. Then in the 8th standard itself, I went there to join. But unfortunately, we are state board and that was central board, like, you know, CBC syllabus. I could not cope up the education. I thought I can go there, but it was too high syllabus. So I have to come back, finish 10th. The day I finished, I just ran into Kalakshetra. And we are the last batch to join in the name of College of Fine Arts. The year I left, it is the College of Fine Arts is no more. It became the foundation, and now I don't know what they have become because they changed the whole system and everything changed from the day we left in 92, 93 we left. After that, the College of Fine Arts has not been the name, you know. So it was lucky in my education. Kalakshetra paid it was like a dream come a place. In the beginning, I was in the hostel, so it was a beautiful learning, going for bhajans and sitting in the moonlight dinner that every Friday, all of them together, we used to sit and eat, all the girls and boys. I mean, we are not many boys, we are only 3 or 4 of us, but it was outside. And the way that I was exposed to such lovely vegetarian food, of course, Kerala also have, but the typical, the Brahmin food, drinking rasam with the curd. This has never been. So we used to drink, put the rasam and the moor together, the buttermilk, and mix together. We drink. And my senior was P.T. Narendran. He used to be the one of the most mesmerizing person when he comes to the food. He used to be such a thin person at that time. So he wants to put on weight. So, we get the ghee in the big, like this, in the paripu sadam and the sambar we can pour. So we put only 1 spoon because I don't like ghee so much from the young, that time also. For him, ghee was like putting the whole pot in the plate. So it was nothing we felt, it was something which is different experience of, we eat Saturday good food, and it was a hot time. We all come on the way to the hostel. We stay with the staff quarters near that. One house was our hostel. We were not in the behind the ladies' wing or there anywhere there. So on the way we come, banyan tree under, there's all the seats on the side. Everybody will take one. This one we sleep nicely there. So we never knew, what is the world out. It was just the Kalakshetra, trees, birds, dogs, snakes. Everything was so easy for us. We never used to get scared of snakes, and the snakes never harm anybody. There's also snake fell in the class in front of the people, but in the history of Kalakshetra till today, with the blessing of that Nadraja, I think snake is an ornament there, not to disturb anybody, or they know that we are the faculty of under his shade of Nadaraja. We always used to get such a good blessing.
I
So
also
that's
had once when I went for a scholarship exam there in Kalakshetra, as I was packing the bags and I brought it back to my home Bangalore. Then I opened the bag and there is a leech in the bag, traveled all the way from Chennai Kalakshetra. So I do, when we were dancing, you could see a lot of leeches around and all. So that is the memory of Kalakshetra. You yengindi enna vidumo kind of. Yes, but otherwise those are wonderful memories.
that was tell-
So when did
then it
continue,
was the
please.
exposure of dance dramas, the characters. I remember when I was in my first year, they had in the that year festival all the Ramayanam from the beginning, from Sita Swayamvaram to Mahapatabhishekam was done. All the old teachers who left, that is alumni, they were outside teachers like Pushpa teacher, Kunyiraman sir, and many others is to come and take part. Like that was Shurpanaga was always the best Shurpanaga, I can say it was Pushpa teacher. 3 months of rehearsal. So we were near to one of the cottage near to there. So when she has cut the nose, we could hear the way she screamed. We can hear it in the class. So I used to think, what was the sound is all the time coming one particular time. So one time the teacher didn't come, so we were free. So it's so disciplined and everything. So Kalakshetra is not a covered everything. We can sneak and see. So I went one time to just sneak and see what's happening. Then only I saw the stage they were rehearsing. Then I saw this Pushpa teacher there, and she screamed. Then only I realized this was the sound I was hearing. And I think we are the lucky batch to see all the Ramayanam, the original characters. Some of them didn't do, but mostly everyone, like Sharda, our Guru, Chinna Sharda teacher, Jaya teacher, and they all didn't participate and some of them were not there. but mostly like Krishnavani teacher, Janardhanan sir, Balagopalan sir, Krishnamurthy sir, and all those people. But P.T. Narendran was Lakshmanan. Soon the Vivek left. Then it was Narendran was the second place to get into there. So there's some still Rama was Janardhanan. So the whole Ramayanam, sitting at the first row, watching every single details. It was like, for us, it's like, bursting bubbles, and it was just coming out of us. For us, every single thing was like, wow, oh my God, what character they are doing. Balagopalan sir coming as a Hanuman, Vishwarubam. We were like, our eyes were just going wider, and he jumps, the way he lifts the Lakshmana and run, Rama, and every single character was so intense and so depth. I have not, that we saw Ramayanam at that time. Before I came, there was the Ramayanam came in the TV, After that, seeing a original live dance drama as a Ramayanam, we were like taken back with all that, each steps, each choreography, each stage setting, and it's simple but effective. Like cyclorama and all, we never know what is cyclorama. We don't know how is the lighting coming. So it was such a beautiful learning process in our life from Kalakshetra, from the costume comment. Today, if you imagine that today I have this combination, I don't know whether you realize the blue and this color to a blouse contrast. This is all the dance drama and the contrast of Atte's imaginary, the way they tie, the way they do the buns, and it's such a naturally they're done. And I was so much, I know that there was something in me. I know dressing, I know how to tie sari in the young age. I do makeup in the young age because I used to get my uncle's daughters. I used to do that. I had to tie sari. 8 years I went for a wedding. People don't know how to pleat this one. At that time, don't know. So it was it's in a village. In 8 years, the Banaras sari, it was thick Banaras sari, the end of the pallu, the soft, like so long cloth. So they were trying to do the pallu to pleat. It was so loose, they couldn't do. So I was standing there as an 8-year. I could stand there because it's not like I'm very older, So I just told them, can I try to do that? Then I don't know what is in me. Maybe it's from the previous birth, or I don't know what it is. I just took the pallu, folded the softer part, hold the tight one, tap, 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 tap. I did. I just gave it to them like that because I can't reach to the girl. She was tall. I was short, So that time. I turned back. There was a row of ladies standing. Inikim. So I was like, that day in the Kalyanam, putting the, this was my first, I become a designer of making pallu, to everybody, to pleating and putting that. Then I know my name was Kannan, my life, it was my nickname was Kanna. And ஐயோ கண்ணனான செய்தது ஐயோ மீன்ஸ் இப்படி பண்ணியிருக்கான் பாரு அப்படின்னு they started telling everybody கண்ணன் செய்து கண்ணன் did it இது pleat. Then I was so like everywhere I go is my name was coming and they all are coming and saying thank you to me and 8 years itself I become a person of knowing the knowledge of what is. So I didn't have to literally know to teach from there. That teachers need to. We had like the senior teachers, Maragatham teacher and somebody. They never let you to come inside the girls' wing or a thing. But at last, my final year, I got to go there and I did a lot of costume. I used to clean up for them. I stitch things for them. I learned how to stitch Chelangai. All those things I used to sit and do. And I clean up all the old Jambavan. I did Jambavan in Kalakshetra one time. So all the Jambavans were done by ladies that time. So it was first time given to me. And I have such a Jambavan like a hands, so long. And the thing was so short, the hand. So from here, it was so old that the black is faded into gray. And it was so funny. They stitched the new black from here. So from year to year, it was black. And from year to year, it was like, then I used to, and what I did was, I went and put someone Rudrasham like that to not to know the difference of the color. And I used to pleat all the, in Kalakshetra, I was one of the known for tying the Veshti. How means, I had such a beautiful, this malya means the thick cotton, 6 meters I will buy, starch it with adobe. And I used to pleat like how the costume is to be done. And I used to put like that. And I had a small iron box. It's funny, but people used to like G. Narendra is my roommate. Shijit was my roommate. And so they used to, I take that and I used to put it on my body and I used to do like that, the iron box, because it's so thick. It doesn't touch my body. Only the pleats I used to iron, and it is like costume, it stays. So when I finish the dance and come also, I can see the pleats are so perfect. So everybody there, one day you're going to burn your body. They used to make fun of me, So like with G. Narendra and Shijit and all. But for me, it was dream come true in my life, Kalakshetra, learning everything. I learned a lot of things, how to live alone in the life and how to travel your journey, how to be with the people, how to give respect to the gurus, and a lot of things. I can't say one or two that I learned, a lot of things I learned. So that's my journey. If today I would be sitting here in a house like this and you are asking me the question, means the credit all goes to my institution, that is also to my mother who left me in 13 years. And she made me like behind me. She was always there to teach me cooking. I don't know any dish, but I remember how she did it. I will do exactly like that. I don't know how. It just comes. So I always think that it's a magic from my mother, my grandmother, something, it is a blessing that we cannot get it every time from others. It's the elders' blessing. So that is my learning life, what I've come.
That is so childlike, your experience, the way you explained, wide-eyed experiencing, you made me realize. I'm sure the viewers also enjoyed. So many of them have conveyed their, the gratitude for sharing these things with them, because these are the memories which even today you live them. As you were explaining, I could see you are gone back to the time machine where you're experiencing all that. It is so wonderful to hear all this. Now the Kalakshetra days, obviously after your graduation, you have two options, either relocate to Kerala or start something in Chennai. What made you travel to Singapore? What made you travel away from India? You could have stayed back in India, probably gone back to Kerala and started something, or Bangalore, because you speak such good Kannada. So,
no.
What made you think?
One thing you understand, Kalakshetra, once you cross the border of Kerala and you come into Tamil Nadu and especially to Chennai, live and learn the art and all that culture there, I don't think 99.9% of Kalakshetra boys or neither the girls would like to go back and do anything in Kerala. Of course, it is a circumstance. They get married, sometimes they go. But if I ask every individual, they would like to stay in Chennai and perform there rather to go to Kerala and go for that terrorizing competition, I can say that, which is to be like a very, very different there. You cannot teach there what you learn from Kalakshetra. And yes, there is, some of them have gone back and they did it, but it was not very much that they could go. Yes, there is Vilasini teacher who did a lot of things, but not everyone likes to go back to. If you're a female, then you get married with a nice man there who has settled, then you will go back. Otherwise, I don't think. But Chennai is filled with all the male dancers and the dancers who are there. It's only because it's a hub of arts, and that's where the complete chances of survival is there. So I got the job in Chettinad, and I didn't want to come back because my father also moved to Chennai at that time. But he had his own family after that he made. So it was not possible for me to be with the family. So I used to have a rental home by myself. And I must say thanks to, after the Kalakshetra, Guru Savitri Jagannatha Rao, who is my next life of my chapter from 93, the day I finished. I didn't open my doors to go because I know there was a lot of people like Adayar K. Lakshman, Guru Adayar K. Lakshman sir, the Guru Dhananjayan sir, all were there. And in fact, it made something that Savitri Akka was teaching very, very like a homely and everything. Something I went to give something, or I went there to their house. It just pulled me and just nailed me there. And I came behind me. I had few classmates also joined there. So we just become part of Savitri Jagannatha Rao's family. And there the Amaji, who is an Orthodox, a Brahmin lady, how they live till her last, that she had separate kitchen, separate everything. But she was also given me a name called Devudu. She was paralyzed, or she became like weak, she couldn't walk. So she used to be dependent on the wheelchair. So I used to teach in Chettinad and come at around time. There will be nobody to help her because Akka will be sleeping or something, that there were no one. But she'd wait and she'd be looking at the door like that. And when I come, Devudu bandidare, Baba nana karkondo hogo bathroom ke. I know it is, I didn't get my mother or my grandmother, anybody to get. But in that Madi Acharam, she gave me food and made me a different person of discipline. It is never I thought that these people would be some of my life where they would have, I owed them something, I had to do back. So that's how Savitri Akka gives a key for opening things from the locker. That's how we used to live in that house. But the Singapore was forced for me to come. Chettinad school, I did there itself. Usha Vasantakumar, me did Alagar Kurvanchi, the first collaboration, a Kalakshetra dancer collaborating with another dancer that is not from Kalakshetra, a different Pani. She gave me the opportunity. I must say thank you to Usha Vasantakumar, who did Alagar Kurvanchi, gave complete choreography, and I designed clothing. I stitched with a tailor in the house. That's how I become the costume to make by myself. The next it was, I did Adagar, and she was Mohanavalli, and Rekha was Koratti. So I choreographed exactly what I saw from Kalakshetra, and it was happened in Naradagana Sabha. With all my gurus, everyone was present over there. I did the dance drama live, and I did 2 dance drama to. One was featured in even in the Saraswati Sundaration took that script and she made me to also perform. Recently, Shanmugha Sundaram, I was the Naragasuran and he was my attender. So he sent me the photo to me. I was like shocked seeing that, how I was dressed, the way I was doing. I mean, I would say that it's not that attender or whatever. It was just my opportunity. I got it. But Shanmugam is a great dancer. He's a lovely person. But, it's just that the time we don't know. I got it, that opportunity. 2 dance drama I did for Chettinad Vidyashramam. Thanks to Meena Auntie. She was she would have not given me that school and also a tailor to stitch. She left me to the Nalli, and she said, manager came with me and said that, ask to go and get whatever you want. The bill will be done by us. That is how I learned how to buy materials and what is there in the Nalli to make costume and how to mix match, all those things. So I stitched costume by myself. I used to do the pleating, everything, but that's all is learning from Kalakshetra is not a big thing. Rukmini Devi's imagination for a student was not to just learn dance and come out and teach the same style, technically, same Rupa Mujichi, not that. She always said, I want an ideal dancer who could dance, who could do their own makeup, who can create, and whatever that you see in Kalakshetra, you could able to do it outside, not just dancing. Apart from dancing, you should be for everything, So everything all around her, you should be. So I did that dance drama, and for this one, I brought the photos I was showing in the office to Rajaram sir. He also was a great help for me when I was studying Kalakshetra. So I showed, it was Maragadan teacher, the costume department was standing. Enga Katu, show me the photos. I showed. She started screaming at me. She said, oh, all you steal the ideas from Kalakshetra and you are putting all that designs and everything to dance drama of yours. It's very unfair. So luckily Kamalarani teacher was standing next to her in the office. She just told, Maragadam, you should be proud that a Kalakshetra student is gone out and has taken all the values of Kalakshetra, the costume or whatever it is, produced. You should be happy that you have a follower and you're a Sishya who is not, you didn't teach. That is only by his effort that he could do it. So don't ever say that. Kalakshetra, Rukmini Devi, that's why she told. Rukmini Devi wanted an idol, not just a dancer, learning theory, doing MA, doctorate, D. No. I remember Jaya teacher telling me, my guru, saying that was one student. She was not so pretty, she was not something, but she was excellent dancer. She was not at all, if I don't remember that it would be KL, that Sangeeta Namachivai. If I'm not, I don't know, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think she said, something like that. But it was not in the theory she scored some mark or some person that. But Ate gave first class to her, that dancer. So there were some teachers saying, அவளுக்கு theory mark, she doesn't have marks, so how can you give a first class to her? She is not, she just said, theory is all in dance. If you can able to learn theory and write exam there, get 100 mark, but you cannot bring it in your dance and when you are performing, what is the use of theory? So theory is only to support you, the knowledge behind your dancing, but if you can dance without that knowledge of that, I danced with not that theory or anything, but I could know the sense of the knowledge of the theory, what is essential. But when you dance, you're not going to open the page there and dance. It has to come. And if you can able to succeed and convince the audience, that is the complete theory as a dancer. It's a performing arts. It's not just only by theory you need to do. So that one, I took it from my teachers. Everybody has something to say, what Ate said. And unfortunately, I am not that lucky. I didn't see Ate because when I came, Ate already has become a great soul who was blessing Kalakshetra from there. So, but I could see the presence of her movement in Kalakshetra. There used to be the Rukmini Devi's statue. I used to go underneath and I used to practice. There's a lotus and everything there. It sits there. It feels like the wind comes and goes. You feel somebody's passed by you. Something you can feel a very magical. That day I was talking to one of my old classmates and I told her, did you ever felt like this? She said, yes. I also felt the same thing. So, but that was the experience in Kalakshetra, that there are something mesmerizing things move around that area. So they say that, in place of Shiva temple, you can see things moving, going and coming. It can be Ganas or anybody. So it is just the vibration of that place always makes us so good. So I think it was blessing of Atte indirectly that I could able to gain all that knowledge that she would have be there. I think she would have been more happier. So that's what Kamalaran teacher. Atte irundadina evlo sandoshpattiruppa. How much she would have been happy. Why are you scolding that child? So that made me to go up. So this is learning process in our life.
From Kalakshetra to Chettinad to moving to Singapore, that part, why was it that the conscious decision to move out? As you said, of course, nobody would want to go back to Kerala, you said, because their focus is only few things. But then, why did you leave India? What made you say, okay, fine, let me start?
One word I say, I came to earn money. Because dance is an expensive art. And if I need to perform, I need money. And my aim, Guru Dhananjayan sir, offered this invitation because he came to do Sangamitra, and that is the time they needed a teacher as a male teacher to come and teach there. Because when he went for Sangamitra, there were no much males to perform for his drama. So he said that you must have in faculty at least one teacher to come. So after the Balagopalan sir left, there was no male teacher who came to teach in that institution. So after a very long time, it was, then he was talking, I was there. I went for banyan tree or that, US, they were doing an audition. So I went to the Ranjan sir's house. So I was standing. Surya Narayana Murthy was there. And sir was telling, there is an offer like this. Do you all wanted to go? So I didn't know nothing about what is Singapore, because for me, after the Palakkad and few places from India, I know Bangalore, and I never knew anything more than what is Singapore, how is the world outside. I still remember Savitri Akka was leaving one of the foreigner to the airport. I went with her in the jeep. So I saw the airport and everything. Then I asked her, will I also go in the flight sometime, auntie? Teacher. So Akka, I used to call her. She said, Iri. There's one time you will never be getting down from the flight that will come into your life that much. She just said it like that, and it happened in my life. And Surya Narayana Murthy know what is the situation there, because Guru Sita Ravamma was already teaching here. So he is related to them, Sharma sir, Guru Sharma sir. So it was happened that he was asked to go. He said, I don't want to go to that institution. When I go there, I cannot perform. I can't do anything. You have to become only a teaching teacher. There's no scope of performing. It's a deadly place that you will not want to go to. Singapore Indian Fine Arts Society, the name, So our G. Narendra also was there. He used to be very good friend, and is like, we are very close in that time. So I asked him an advice, is what do you think? I think he told me, if you wanted to perform, you need money. For money, you need to earn. India, to sit and earn and to perform, it's not so easy for that time, because male dancers were never got opportunity. So if you want money to perform in all the sabas and things like that, you need, even if they give you free performance, musicians who will pay? It's live performance. So you need to pay them, right? So where will I have money to pay for musicians and dance? And it's not possible. So I thought, I'm getting a good money. But that time, earning that amount of money in India was not so easy. Kalakshetra, my teachers used to take only like 2,000, 3,000 was the salary at that time. When I left Kalakshetra in that time, they were all retired. Some of the teachers came out with 2,000, 3,000 as a salary. Was a big money at that time, maybe, but they were only having. So for me, the amount money at that time, Singapore was only 25 rupees per dollar. So it was not a big money, but big money for us at that time, but the money value was only 25. But for that time, it was a big thing for me. So I went there to just want to get my money to perform, not to save money or buy bangla or gold or, save it into, no. In fact, I danced from 96, I left Singapore. Since from the December I came, I performed. First thing I performed is the Basanagar, the Pulaya temple. I started from 93. Still every year I give my offering to him. The year I don't do, my whole year will be not a very good year. So I have to go and give him a performance, which I don't know whether I vowed it or anything. So it is happening that Pulaya is sitting next to me. Today also, this Pulaya demanded I wanted to be sitting in this show. He sits on the right on my head up there and watches all my students down there in this classroom. He's a very unusual Pulaya sitting in a lotus with hand gesture holding Abhayam and Modagam, and turns the head and sit like this. Doesn't even look, say that I'm not looking at you, but I can see everything. That's the expression he gives. So he was my journey to start. And the next blessing was Vaijanti Mala Bali, Savitri Akka introduced for us to go and dance for Chantalika. And we all were sitting. Great. For me, she is Amma, mentor, or I can say every single word, she is there for me in my life. To come, every step what I am today is the all blessing of Guru or Mata Vaijanti Mala Bali was my, whatever the life I've taken, every step from Girish to Maalika also was with, taken the permission from her. She introduced me to the whole Chennai in the marriage of his marriage, son's marriage. And I was coming with the Kanchipuram, and all my teachers with Savitri Akka, Dharanjan sir, she knows every single dancer. So all were coming, they're seeing me and Maalika with the sari there, and it was like, for them it was so. Which soul would give me this opportunity? At that time, nothing was so easy. For me, it made me so easy to offer my entrance to show everyone in a very dignified manner. I came into that picture. Inside my heart, I told her, this is my life is going to be happening. She was no negative energy. She said, go on, my child. I had one student like that I have seen. So you have that in your mind. Don't ever stop. Go off. I'm convinced, and I will never will stop you, and you go on. The day I have put my name, since from that till today, that old name is, she has not even a slip of tongue, she has not called me. My new name is completely registered, and she called.
I was coming to that. I was coming to your name, which is so unusual, because Mallika we have heard, Malaika we have heard, Mala, but why Maalika? Why this Maalika? And I'm curious to know, how difficult was this for you to take the decision of the changing of Girish to Maalika? Was it easier once you made up your mind? There was no looking back, and nowhere you thought, was it right, was it wrong? Nowhere, no confusion, nothing. That firm belief was there.
No.
Was the path easy? Was the path easier? The transition and
I would say it is only the blessing of the goddess Saraswati, knowledge in that what we are today. It's not that we were in the bhaktas of mainly the Lakshmi, because Saraswati Devi is what is there in us. So the respect automatically comes as a teacher. and my step was not at all difficult. They said, you can be anything, whether you are in kurta or you're in a sari, but your soul is not changing or your teaching is not going to be changed. So why should we bother? This is what all my parents from CFAS, when I left, they all, I had a special day to introduce, telling that my life is going to be this happening. So all the parents, some of them cried, some of them said that even our children don't open and say so much. It is so nice of you that you are revealing your whole inner soul and telling truth. And that is what we must understand. Truth you follow, there is no afraid to be. Dharma is what is you follow. Krishna is there. Rama is there. All of them are there with us. Even the goddess is there with us. So why should you be frightened? I'm not talking only with the goddess of Hinduism. Everything. My name, Maalika, I was asking, even Vajindrimal, I need a new name, but I want to start with M. So it was so difficult that because I had in my mind M name, mostly the lot of people are famous. So not everybody gets this lucky life to choose a namakarnam from your own self to put it for yourself, and nobody gets. Whatever you got it, that's your parents. So whether you like it or not, you have to give that name and leave. So, but there is an opportunity again to get your new name to, according to your wish, to put it means it's just like breaking the crackers, you know. So I was searching, I want M. So it was just going on. So somebody from Surya Ramaya is one of the oldest, that she is been one of the oldest and eldest of my mother, who lives in London. She's known to be London Surya, also been a dancer. And she used to be my first, not first, she is the one who has inspired me to what I am today, because she's one of the person, but she's very unusual that nobody could able to say what. And she also learned dance from Adya K. Lakshman. And so there was a lot of things. In beginning, when I was in fine arts, she even came to my classroom to learn, practice in my class. That time we didn't know this all things are happening. But apparently, she was just saying, Yamina ni Malaika Vichkalame, Aprina, she was just saying a name. So I was just, immediately it struck, Raga Maalika. What about Maalika? It was like that, because if the destiny of somebody's name or something has been written there, you cannot say. They say no. H, the Dani me khane wala ka naam. In every single rice, the name has been written. Who will be doing that? So that was the truth, that my name was already is written. It needs to come. So it is a weight in my mind. Remove Raga, take Maalika. I don't think anybody has used, because I always go for this unique thing. I want something. So still people will call me Maalika, Mallika, and all that sort of new names comes to me. But Maalika is from the Raga Maalika. I took the Maalika. That's it.
That is so wonderful to hear this. You know, with what I really like about you, the passion that you explain everything, and you leave that moment, you know, you leave that moment again as live, or not live that moment, and as you are, it looks like as if you're experiencing it now, you know. So it is such a, that sparkle in your eyes and the way you're explaining things. Was it easy? The fraternity there in Singapore, did they accept you immediately? The dance fraternity I'm talking about. Of course, you said that the students, did you have students continuing after the post change, or was it like you said yes, they accepted and you
I
told
was
them everything?
teaching at Singapore Fine Arts Society for, that time I was the longest work teacher, almost to 14 years. So my name and my established in Singapore was quite high. Also, the people at that time who is in Singapore, my name comes. Though there were other teachers, everybody was there. So because of the Kalakshetra and this touch of being coming and performing in Chennai every year, that made a lot of people me to be the part of the Chennai still, the whole month. So I was not being vanished till 2007. The last performance I did, I danced in Vaidyanimala's house it's a private program. I have danced 3 times. So that was my last time when I performed was 2007. And after that, I have not gone back to perform. After 2007, I closed the chapter and my life also closed. And 3 years, I didn't come to Chennai completely. Then
what was the reason? Was there anything specific that you would want to share and which made
no,
you?
the problem was I was the transition.
What happened?
That was my transition period of my life. So not many people know. Only till 2008 I revealed completely to people. But till that, it was a process of till 2007. It was going through step by step where not people were doubting or anything, but I was having internal changes, like, a lot of things, like I was under the hormones and things like that. And so it was making me to becoming, I didn't have much to put on because my hair used to be there all the time. I used to known for my hair, perform with such beautiful hair. I used to have 30 Kanjipuram saris cut into, I made Sherwani and the shawl with I want all my pallus to be, I designed 30 Kanjipuram. I tell you, I regret now. That time I never had in my mind that I'm going to be something, I would wear a sari. Now you won't even get those saris for 5,000. I got such a beautiful sari, which is now 25,000. So just imagine cutting and making sherwani and putting underneath. I have a pajama and the shawl is to be like this, like I tell you. One side, the blouse is to go to the back side. I stitch that like that. So the one sari material is enough to stitch. So there was one shop in Chennai, made a lot of money. 30 means imagine how much each time I had to pay 3,000 rupees for the stitching charge. So apart from the yes, suit is very expensive because they need lining inside, stitch, they paste and they put shoulders. Then I was started all my jewelry collections, which thanks to Sukra, there's a fun saying that Anita Ratnam and Maalika owe 2 layers of 2 floors has been owned because of they are the one who used to go there and buy the most. I think the one floor, the money of those people are contributed. I think they used to make fun of us, But yes, I have, without knowing, I have all the collections of jewelry like a mad. I used to keep up. Then I realized I used to, whenever wearing all the silver jewelry, chunky, good silver jewelry. So I started wearing on the kurta and coming to performance like, so now they have shawl nobody used to wear that time. I made a fashion of in Singapore in 96, putting a shawl, and I did our Singapore Tamil national song, Munneru Valiba. I went there to choreograph. Apparently, the man who was shooting, the director was an Australian person. So he said, I want you also to dance at this somewhere. So that was my first appearance to become a celebrity in Singapore. To start me, that is like 1 month, they put the whole song, every 10 minutes or 15 minutes, the song will be repeated. I have the recording still, and I took all my students. So that's where I came in with my appearance of shawl and everything. Later on, only the people started wearing sherwani and things like that. But I did get all that, facilities been done earlier to make an idol for a lot of people came out of that shell. I can also, if she can, he can wear, I can also wear. So that was my intention. Even in the costumes, we nowhere used to stitch. Do you ever remember that cutting a kanjipuram or a sari? Only for the girls, they stitch costume. For the boys, I don't think anybody will take a patisari and tie, they will kill because it gets the sweat pads. So not generally a veshti or something similar to a plain color.
I
Not
do.
all that Kanchipuram is been allotted for us to wear. You know, I started temple jewelry every year in Pillar temple, my new costume, new thing. Then slowly Angavastram started to come and I patronized the Angavastram. Later, it's all developed year by year till 2007. I just explored my solo performance in a very different manner. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my life. I can say that God is so kind to me. I had two Janma in one Janma. It's not so everybody gets that, you know, the blessing of God. I lived exactly half of my life, 39 in one life. The rest is going just now. So equally shared, I never know that the transition also never made me different. I never act my life. What was there, it is still there. My voice is there, my hair is there, my feeling is there. I'm the same. It's the right thing what the parents said. Your soul is not changed. So we don't have anything. Whether you wear a sari or you wear a kurta, for us all are same teacher. Your art matters for us and you matters for us, has given the confidence. So, and also in India, all my gurus just took me because of the appearance. The people had a scaredness that, you know, you will come with so obscene or maybe it's a frightening look, you know, or people have a lot of fear. There was one man who I could say in CFA's committee commented saying that if she wears the sari, if she's been wearing like this normal dress, tomorrow she comes with the sari and come to the here, all the children would be afraid and they were scared. It is so not so nice for the our institution's sake. That word of that person is a blessing for me. I must say, today I'm known for my sari, collections, blouse, everything, because I appeared a judge, a celebrity judge for one of the very well-known program called Dhool, and I was selected for that. And the program was always been watched people. Everybody used to say, we come to see you only to see your, what outfit are you wearing? What jewelry you're wearing where? It's also from my community. A lot of people have come and told me, you inspired us. You gave us that, you know, it's nothing I have done. You think that I made sari, I made jewelry, I made this look? No. Putting pottu, this is all tradition. It's how and where, how to place it, whether it suits you. Today, only thing I didn't want to do is putting my big mukutis. That I generally do it. But today I thought, I want not to go people with to see my jewelry rather than concentrating on my jewel as my words. So you invited me for this. How can I come and overshadow all that and with my big mukutis and things? So stay with what you can be. You know. It's inspiration.
How modest. That's that's so sweet. So the point is, now nowhere the entire clan, as I would say, once you went back and you started again, you started Akashaganga, you started training students. Nowhere there was any you felt you were being exploited or ridiculed or looked down or being subjected to kind of that is why we have themed this talk as dance, language of the soul, because soul has no gender. Soul has it's just dance. When we say it is musical, it is not lyrical, it is not bound by language, everything. This is something from inside. You are a dancer first from the soul, and then only your Bhahyakaram is another extension to what you are. So, was it there any kind of exploitation or any kind of where you were subjected to, which you remember, harassment?
I must apologize for one thing, and from the a community of people from us, there are so many of the dancers or could be other people. I am blessed. They say that I'm blessed and I'm a child of God. So I have no fear to being that anybody says whatever it is. I don't have any fear. Second thing, taking that as an instrumental and trying to get sympathy. That's what most of the people are exploring, to get sympathy in that particular gender, and getting the benefits, and going in the wrong directions and giving wrong. Sometimes it is also been wrongly interpreted and getting bad name. So I rather was always been dignified way I have behaved, that I don't allow anybody to put I always say, you put finger onto me one, look back, there is four at you. So don't you dare point the finger in what way that you could do that. So that stopped everything. So, but there was no need. When you stay perfect, you stay in your boundaries, and you show people, if you are so well, like in TV and everything, I become a celebrity. Nobody even know what am I, what gender I am. Nobody has even considered give me that sympathetic. No, I was liked by the older generation ladies, and when I used to go out of Singapore for shopping, there was to be like a family coming. So suddenly the wife will come to me and they say, you know how they talk into a celebrity generally. So they say, "Oh Maalika, I'm so big fan of yours. There is another big fan who is there." And they turn back, "Enanga, you call, Henry, Bandri, like come here, your favorite artist." The way the man's face goes down, like he'll be so impressed to hear that. He says that in the house, but the wife come and put it in front of them. They are not facing me. When you come to face straight to straight, it is not so easy, And I also feel but ladies and children used to be one of my biggest fans. And of course, men, that they are silent, but they never used to make any, because I'm in the position of a teacher, and I was always being a judge in a reality show. There was one reality show in which there was an argument going, saying that that was a show for the gender, and the opposite people were talking. But unfortunately, I was not in that show. They invited me, but I said I'm not coming, because I didn't want it to come there and to lose the other person's opportunity. If I go there, I become the lamplight. I'm already lamplight, so I wanted the other person. So there's one person is Bhuvana, who win the last prize. So she used to be a good friend of mine. So she said, "Why you did not come?" I said, "If I would have come, I would have taken that prize. You would have not got it." So I showed that I don't want to take that sort of opportunity. There are many people who needs to come to the limelight. I've already got it, but I came for another session, 2 sessions in that, where makeup is important, or all that grooming is important or not important. It's like 2 people debating on that. So these are all happened where one man said, "Look at Maalika, so respected, that being a judge, being a teacher, if a person can live like that, why that anybody has to say anything bad?" So there's nobody from my young age or whatever it is. I am not. heard such bad words of saying to, all that things what they quote. I don't want to say that, but it is not been done to me, because that is what when happened when Bangalore they had a big festival. I was invited to be the part of the festival, and there the interview people were only asking for, the papers wanted all that negative life of what I suffered and what I've been ill-treated, or they want to hear even the place where I've been, humiliated in that way, this way, no family, that, this. When it is nothing happened, why do you need to say lie? I don't need a sympathy. I'm an artist of equal caliber of whether it was that side or this side. It's in the part of the same coin. This side it was one. When I turn back, this is this side. You say that coins, this side is more value and that side is value. If you have both side only, the coin has the value, right? So I made my life to be the value is not by just looking at the what the
Very
people.
well said. Very well said. Very well said. You put it so beautifully. You said coin has the same value whether it is showing this side or that side, because it's the same. That has so much in-depth meaning into it. At this junction, I would want to say Anita ji is saying, you, Maalika, I recall it clearly, but you outshopped me in Solra. And she's also said how lovely you look. So this is there. Now the Akashaganga productions, you are more into group productions or solo productions. You help your students to stand up as soloists, or would you always suggest that they take up more of performing rather than teaching, or more of teaching, less of performing? What do you see the future for your students?
I worked for Singapore Indian Fine Arts Society. There, every year, I put one annual day function. Each teacher gets to present their work with their students when we used to work. But now it was not like that. So when the day one I came, I used to put one dance drama or completely. So I think Guru Sitaravama started with the little children first, but I made it more popularized. So all from my little children to the seniors perform one dance drama for 15 or 20 minutes rockingly. So every year I used to get the first chance, but there was 1 year they put me in the first chance. It was 90% audience sitting in the hall. I did Kautvam because I was forced to put it in the beginning because I did Kautvam. I put around 70 to 80 children started from the Kautvam, Pilayar, that is Ganesha, Murugan, Natesha, from that to Kali. So the level of the children from the smaller, from the Kautvam of that, it was only 13 and a half minutes. The whole, I still have the recording with me. It was like a chain of flocks of colors, and each one goes, they come with a different costume. Because I'm known for costume and all that I provide. Even the pin to slade. I start from the morning, and I even give food that day. All the parents, everybody is there except the so I give food for around, if you imagine 80 students, the parents together, there will be around 250 people. So I give a simple sapade, but I pay that money to give my parents and students that I used to. So I make sure that they are done makeup, and I am the one direct put all the pins and everything. My hands is to get like completely blood coming out, that much pins I'll be putting, all beautiful characters and everything. Even for that, every children had a different hairstyle, not with the Bharatnatyam, same plait and everything. Everybody had different konde, every had different or jewelry. So they were unique of each. At last, when the program finished, there were another 2 programs after me. Kautvam, then there was 3 teachers. So when the program finished, mine, It is no exaggerated. I didn't even know that I came out. It was 70% of the audience just came out from the hall. It was only a 30% of the rest parents were sitting there and watching. The other 70 just vanished. So the hall was almost empty. It was the last was Tilana. She had very little people who were watching that. I don't want to quote the name, but since from that, Sifa's Academy Day, I am the finale. If they want to hold the audience, I used to be the one of the person. So dance dramas or whatever it is, that was my time in CFAS. I played my best to give. So there was a say that I can control the major, like such a big audience and also big number of students used to, from the little ones to the everyone. I was a soloist because I was a solo performer. So the inspiration, what the guru does is what the child also follows. So if you're a dance drama person, then you will become a dance drama oriented, characterly given chance. But I used to be a solo performer, and I made a lot of students who came into the solo and performed in Chennai Festival. And there was, I taught them Margam because I also was so creative, because I dance, I need Margam. So even my students, some of the senior students in Singapore who used to learn from the other teachers long time back, left dance and came back. They did few production just because of my choreography. They want a thematic Margam. So I did that. So that Margams become one of my main repertoires to make a solo dancing. So Arangetams were, it was not an Arangetam for me. How much time do you do a Varnam in your repertoire? One Varnam can be go for how long? If you are doing, I'm just asking. 30 minutes?
40 minutes. And nowadays competitions like inno korchildra. If 20 minutes also they do one Varnam.
My student, two of them, one in the Bangalore also, and one in Singapore. She did 1 hour. Meghna Hebar did 1 hour. The Varnam which I win in Krishnagana Sabha, Todi Varnam I gave her. It was 1 hour. Tanya Raja was doing a Murugan Varnam, and Mammootty was the chief guest for that in Singapore. It was 1 hour 15 minutes, the Varnam. So it is not even one person got up from the audience, or they don't even go out, because every single item is like a Varnam. So the Bangalore, the orchestra people used to make fun of me. இது எல்லாமே வர்ணம் தான், எல்லா வர்ணம் தர இதர இதுக்கே நம்ம வந்து 5 if it's 10 items 10 ಕಚೇರಿ ತರ ಇದೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಐಟಮ್. ಇದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಎಲಾಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಅರಂಗೇಟ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾ? You need so much to give in an arangetam. I don't know. I just give so much, just dance. Whether you are,
know that you have said just dance, we want you to dance. I tease all my guests. I say your Arangetram on Facebook. So what will you perform? Now that you said Kannada ishtu chanag bandmele, you should dance for some Kannada song. Shall we? What? Some Javali, some Kavite. Javali, we'll do a Javali, no? Okay.
yeah.
I sing and you dance. Okay. So probably Sakonina Sneha. Artham Priyon Enikire. You can understand, right? You can understand. Let us see how will you interpret. Now that you've given me that such good Kannada, I'm sure you would you can interpret and you can dance also. Okay.
I will try my best, because I think it's a simple Kannada. If you're not bringing all the older version, then I have a problem.
It's basic, very simple, neat Kannada. Lyrics are very simple also. Okay.
Can you just tell the meaning of that one so that people could understand, then they can enjoy what I'm saying?
The lyrics are simple. Sako Nina Sneha. The Saki is coming, the Nayaka has come to the Saki's place in the morning after spending the entire night with his other Saki, and the heroine, the Nayika, is very upset because he has come in the morning to show his face. So she says, "Get lost. I don't want to see your face because this friendship of yours is all lie. You've spent the entire night with the other woman there, which is very annoying to me. You would have had fun there." These are the initial lyrics that go by. It is a Kandita Naiki. Sometimes it can be later on she'll go on to other Naikas. Now I'm preparing Maalika for this Arangetram here.
Can you give me a little bit raga in the beginning, little bit, to get the entrance of the Nayika?
Yeah. Sako, 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 Ninna Sneha, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyada ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyada ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyada ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyata ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyata ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyata ko, Sako, Ninna Sneha. Asaki Manigillige, Asaki Manigillige, Asaki Manigillige, Asaki Manigillige, Asaki Manigillige, Asaki Manigillige, Anand Mariya Beda, Asaki Manigillige, Anand Mariya Beda, Asaki Manigillige, Anand Mariya Beda, Sako, Ninna Sneha, Sarasa, Inyata ko, Sako, Ninna, Sako, Ninna, Sako, Ninna Sneha. Beautiful, beautiful, elegant, wonderful. I'm sure all our viewers are enjoying this visual treat. I hope I could sing. I could manage to sing.
Thank you.
So
It was lovely. You sang so well. I must give you the credit that you are a dancer who could know every single expression, you know that how much to stretch it and how much to pull with my meaning. You gave all that as if like people will be thinking I rehearsed with you for this one, you know. There could be a comment coming there saying, you know, did you plan this one and you already have set? I don't even know. I just imagined whatever we learned. We don't need anybody to even teach. This is such a common thing. We can put everything right. So I think it is.
The bhavam is, once you have the bhavam, all trained dancers have this in them. Once you have the bhavam, automatically everything will come in. You have the sthayi bhava perfect. What exactly language? That is what I solre. Language has no barrier for dance and music, because if you know what exactly is the initial sthayi bhava that goes on, then everything's just sway. Gunduram is saying, if I were to say Deke Ninna Sneha, he pulls the legs of all the guests who come on the show, so it's nice. Yes, of course, certainly. We all are good, the fraternity, friends, and it is so nice to be in touch and appreciate each other's work.
Sorry to interpret, but Narendra always used to know how to pull. I used to call him Neri. Neru is what Nikli I call Neru. So, you know, Neru, this is always goes on. So I am accidentally seeing that I saw him coming and, you know, telling, I know he's a fun, and he made my time when I was in Kalakshetra. You know, he used to be one of my, I say that a respectable elderly like a person who is no relationship was there. I can't say he's a brother, he's a friend, or he's a senior. There was a lot of nice attachment that I used to be with him, because he used to, anytime that I was in Kalakshetra, when he does all the main roles, he says, I want him to plead the Veshti, you know, and that was something a confident. You know, so that is some relationship of beautiful, so that you cannot name any friendship. There is nothing called brother, any relationship. It's a pure soul to soul respect. For me, he has always been that full of respect for me. So you see that he's coming here, and the way he's pulling, he knows how to pull the soul, you know. So thank you, Nehru. Yes. Anything else you want me to express, in which I can't hear? Something.
There is Parameshwari saying wonderful, and Narendra saying more power to you, D.
My dream is, after I become Maalika, I want him to do Krishna, and I want to do Radha with him. I don't know whether that would happen one time in my life, because I see him with the beautiful life of, people think he's a Krishna, but insidely he's a Rama. And always people interpreted that he was a Krishna with a playfulness and everything. But I know he's a Rama, because I've been with him as a roommate, and I know what sort of a clean person he is, I know. So he can be anything people can say, but his character of that is that not many people can understand. So that is why I want him to do Krishna, and I want to do Radha. If God wills, and if I get that sort of an opportunity, I definitely, not Saki, I said no. I want to do, not that is something which is beyond, Radha's is something which is beyond a love.
Narendra, நானும் பண்ணிடுவேன்னு சொல்றேன். Narendra சொல்ற பண்ணிடுவோம். This is so nice to see such beautiful camaraderie among the classmates, and you're remembering your alma mater, and you're sharing such wonderful thoughts. And
I want to not to forget 2-3 people. That is Jayanti Subramaniam is one of my life which has been changed, doing Natvangam from the day when I was started performing. After Savitri Akka, she started. So that is something in my life I learned a lot of things, though she was sitting and doing, but her knowledge was immense, and she's beautiful. So, and also all the great gurus, whoever I worked, and whoever I was done, and can't forget my teachers, Shemavati teacher, and Kalamandalam Shemavati teacher Guru is for my Mohiniyattam, and plus I have been now started to step into Mohiniyattam, my life, because I thought Bharatnatyam is one half of my life is finished, 2007. So I wanted to come back with a different, because this life I got Mohini, why should I leave it? Just take it.
That's an amazing thing. And I remember I should talk about this production of yours where you portrayed mother, the relationship between the mother and the kid in a very different way. For the mother, every kid is special, every kid is same, however different it could be. I remember seeing one of your productions where Parvati is interacting with Ganesha, and that elephant headed face, how she, the first shock of watching the kid getting that elephant face, Can you elaborate on that? How could you even think of that concept of mother and I? We always think of Yashoda, we think of Krishna. This thought of yours to correlate something very subtle, which is not spoken much, because Annamari Yosikilame. I also, when I saw the production, I said, wow, how could even, you think in such a way that it's the same. But then the first time when you see your kid is having an elephant face, and can you elaborate on that? It's good when we listen to you.
Actually, before the thoughts of that program is called Pre-Esma, the Ma, that is, I taken 3 different parts, which is from the divine mothers, heavenly mothers, then it comes to the earthly mothers in epics, and then the present mother from the now. So mother is the mother for everything. But the thing is how they have brought this feelings is the same, but stories and the mother's character of, you cannot have a child in this time to cut the head and put another animals. It's not possible, only because that was the era of time where things can happen. When it happens in the Mahabharatam, Ramayanam time, there was many things happened, like cloning happened with Gandhari. Teenage pregnancy with Karnan, where Kunti faced. And Anjaneya was the Amsha of Shiva, which is being brought by the Vayu and given to Anjana Devi. And that is like now how that a different person is been conceiving the other person's child, So there is also abnormal children who is born because of deficiency of certain things, So there are different types of characters of mothers are there. So for me, you must understand, I will be never mother in my life. I'm mother for all my dance children, and for who they wanted to become my child, I be a mother there. But I was sitting one day and I was thinking, whatever you teach students, whatever it is, they all are, we say mother and all those things, but this never happens, because the blood and the water is always different, So it never will match for saying you can say Amma, but the real Amma don't come. So I was praying to the Almighty, my Balatripura Sundari. I'm the Upasika of Balatripura Sundari and great Baba. Both of them are my life, in like the coins, both sides. They are. So I cannot say which side is what. They are sitting like that, like Tata and Peti. So I was sitting and was feeling very sad. God, I can't become a mother. But if I would have had a child, I could have had all that happiness. Maybe that would have been not say mine, So it was a little bit very emotional when I was doing a puja and I was sitting. So this theme called Sri Esma came. Suddenly, all these characters, actually this is scripted by Subbu sir, keyboard Subbu sir, Chennai. And Radhaka, and he tuned this and we recorded the music in Chennai. So it happened, we thought we were choreography, the music was done, then the dance came. On spot dancing there, when Radhaka was singing, it was going on. So my life, God gave me an opportunity on that stage to become all different type of mothers, where I felt stage is not only for us to dance, it is also to portray our life. Sometimes we can really do the mother and make the audience to feel that I become a mother. So she told me, why you want to become for one child mother? I give you to make different child in a different level of situation. You can become mother. Take the items. That's the idea came in. That's how I made the Sri as Ma, where Parvati coming to Ganesha saying, the voice sounds, the eyes sounds the same, but there is the whole outcome is not mine. The Amma sounds makes me for the my old child, but when I see the child is not the same. I see the sparkle on the eyes, but when I see the sparkle, but when I see near, the child is not. But whatever said and done is, the child is mine. It's been so affectionated and so well been coming. This voice has been making me to come closer. So let any rubum, any defection or anything that you can have, if that is not at all for mother, the child is child to them. I've seen mothers taking care of such children who is God's blessing. They're then such a good mother who is to not make one time also turn the face, they care them so beautifully. I know few families where I've seen this. So when I was portraying that, I was crying, the audience were crying, all of them were on tears after seeing this program. So that means...
Me too. Me too, of a different sort. Me too. When I saw you doing it, sitting at one place, first I said, oh, can't be Pandrala. Okay, what will she do? People around who are not used to that kind of abhinayam. But then I said, let us give a thought what she does. There is no content. If there is no content, I'm sure you wouldn't present it. So when I gave a patient listening and I saw you doing it, I was also moved. I said, how could even somebody think in this direction? Which recently I was also thinking of a Varanam which was presented like a story of triangle love story Madri Yaro Uttarapanna. That's also, how all people think, like you conceived this idea of, and the Kolande Mari Patapo or Kolandiye or Tayar Patapo, the Distrikonam from the mother's point of view, the angle that you gave is you want to love the kid, and at the same time the kid has changed its rupam, but the soul is eyes and the soul and everything is like pulling you. Just if you think of that concept, how difficult it would be, to enact and to bring that thought, dwell on that thought, develop a choreography, conceive. Wow. I should admit that was...
I think I must give truth is, when you have something, there's no value. When a real mother, for them, they have all the care and everything, but still they are careless about certain places. They think that they achieved and they get it for naturally and easily, Like a person like me never could achieve such thoughts. Only on the stage I could become. So there is the truth that you can say. The value is more than the real mother I could able to bring as an artist, only because I can't get them in real. So I think that credit is because of that I got it. I think that is the ultimate. If I would have tried, maybe I might not do so much.
That it is a wonderful thought, and I really appreciate. You should bring that. Probably make it as an elaborate production. We couldn't see in Bangalore and Mysore when you presented. I could see only the gist of one part of it. Probably sometime in future we should be seeing that production.
I did the whole drama in Bangalore. I did it.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I do remember. But then I could only when I could see only a part of it. Probably next time when we invite you to India, you can always present it. It is such a wonderful thing. Tell us something more about your conceptual productions. Like, what are the other concepts you've dwelt on? What are the other concepts that you
The main
that
one everybody has done is Gita Govindam, in which I took one production called Mirror of Love, name called Prema Darpana, in which Jayadeva and Padmavati are the image, that is Krishna and Radha is the image of Padmavati and Jayadeva. So the script which that Gita Govindam is coming, every song we did Padmavati and Jayadeva, because in the script they say that he only could able to write every single thing by experience through Padmavati. So the script was written, Radha has been a Padmavati and Jayadeva to be a Krishna, having that love and such depth of poetry can only come when you feel it completely.
That is evident even when you say Dehi Padapallava Mudaram, Priya Charati, when you say that, it is evident that
Prema Darpanam, in that concept, saying the mirror image, he did it when Radha separated, Krishna went to do it. When Padmavati passed away, then he said the same Ashtapati and got it back. And every single thing I interpreted in such a way where it was a mirror image. Radha and Krishna are what they have been done is what these people also have done. Could have Pratama, when they say the first the love which she was getting into, to know Krishna and everything, Pratama Samana. So the Pratama Samana is the first night of the Padmavati to experience a step of the love where she's entering to that room. And so this is Kunja. Inside the Kunjam that you are entering and getting to know Krishna. And here that is two persons. So how can we say that they both are separable, or Gita Govindam and Padmavati and Jayadeva is separable from Krishna and Radha? So that is why Krishna chose this script, because it's completely a vision of what happened. It could have happened. It was happened and nobody was seen. So they gave that darshanam through Jayadeva to make the script. Otherwise, you think that the script would have not been chosen by Krishna, because that is his script. In fact, he came and wrote and went. Padakamala Mudaram, he wrote it by himself. So he wanted somebody to, like how we are all the puppets of gods, they are the one who is churning us and taking the ropes. Same like that. Padmavati, and there are two different souls chosen for that. So every single people in this world has been chosen by the Almighty for certain reason. So I am chosen in this life for this reason, to show something. I don't know. Maybe there is something going to happen, or maybe that already happened. I don't know. But for me, it is also God's wish. So that's all I can say.
What is the piece of advice that you give for youngsters who will come in search of you as a guru, or probably who would want to go out from your academy, or the students of today? What is it that one thing you say as a piece of advice, or probably your experience? How because the today's we see they learn from a guru for a long time, but they wouldn't mention the guru, or probably they would want to use some other guru's name for some benefits. So many things. There is YouTube guru. Somebody is learning from YouTube and saying, I learned it, I choreographed it on my own. The music is available from somewhere. So this is a situation where we all are going through. What is that one piece of advice, or what is it that you feel and you would want to share or tell the students of today?
Okay, I would say that if I'm given birth to one child, the child can go get a facility from another mother, or can say tomorrow that is your mother. But the truth will never die. You are born from a certain person, it remains as there. So people are like to take the opportunity to change their mother's name with the law, like a default. Take a default, change your name. So they are taking it so easy nowadays because the facilities There's too many people are there. So olden time that is not happened, but that was the sincerity and the true learning is always, yes, you can change a guru when there's a place where you wanted to learn to elevate your knowledge. We also learn from so many people, but we are not changing all the gurus' name. I learned from Shemavati teacher as Mohiniyattam to do her Arangetam. I will only put her name as being I am the her disciple. I'm not. I learned from other teacher. I'm learning from Kalamandalam Sugandhi teacher. They're also equal to a good teacher. There are a Kavita teacher, Kalamandalam Kavita teacher, but they will never get that placement of disciple. Who you did Arangetam, that Namagrahana was done with one person. அம்மா அப்பா ஒண்ணுதான் பிறந்ததுல. அதுக்கப்புறமா நீ வந்து வழியில பாக்குறதுக்கோ in the way you can get so many people can become your mother and father or anybody, but they are not going to be your surname. It has to be the dharma is if you follow from the guru who is given you, you can add up. I learned it, that is a different story. But to put the other person completely down and take another person and saying, I am the disciple of so and so, that is also part of the gurus who allows the people to put their name under somebody has been given birth. It's like taking the child, I can give you a name, but the child somehow in the life will understand they are not the real father and mother. They always wanted to know who was their father and mother. Same like that, there should be a discipline. When other person is coming, don't forget that your birth and what is come. Of course, there can be a circumstance where sometimes it can be done. The rare cases. But now it's become a fashion. Putting the name, changing the name like a dipole, changing like how I changed my name. So lawyer, go, take a thing, change, putting. But that's not. But my past name will never die.
Changing name reminds me on a lighter note that you've changed your name to Madeline. So what is, or rather, you would want to be called as Madeline Panicker, not Maalika sometimes. So why that?
The FP name, I wanted to put it that because I travel widely in other part of country, and it's difficult for me when my name is being put there as Maalika. The persons are immediately going to the internet and then they find out who I am to come back, one reason. And what they was talking to me as a normal person, suddenly after they go back to search the internet and come back, the behavior is completely different. So I was thinking, why am I giving this chance to know about people's life or personal life and you dictating them? Just because of that, you are not a right person. That is not true. Because I experience my life truly and I can explain people what is the right direction of things. Because I have gone through. Without not experience, I don't think anybody could able to talk everything. Just assuming or people can say. But to real feeling in my life, I should. So I made my Facebook to put Madeline. Also, it is a trend in Western life that people have two names, one Western name and one Indian name, So many people has this sort of name which has been changed to call in short form for the other people to not to have such a Bhuvaneshwari. So if you call them, they would not be able to say. So the Western people need to say something else. So they cut short into something small to a Western name, something related to their name, something, Annapurni becomes Anna, something like that. They can even change. So even in the phone, when you call, they don't tell your real name. They put their nicknames, which has been allotted to them. Same like that, I think I wanted people to understand me, then you can change your opinion. Just because my life I had gone through this, You cannot change just because of my reviews and things and unfortunately those ones are always reminds people who I am. So I used to feel very sad about, though you are, see, I'm not cheating anybody. I don't want people to not to know. But why should anybody need to know about what my life is? Not necessary. If you see as a beautiful woman and you talk to them, I am not going to have a relationship, but at least talking to the people, keeping a good relationship needs a straight friendship, which don't need to see. That's what our people make a mistake. One time thief is always been a thief in their whole life. So same like that, they never get a moksha that they are good persons. Same like that, one trademark is put into somebody's life, and it is difficult for, it is not that I'm telling in India or places in Chennai or Singapore. When you travel Europe and places, the people are more conservative than our people, because they know what is this hijab and things like that. But it's not that easy in that country, because people look at you when you're perfectly, there is perfection. There's many people don't identify who you are. They think that so and so. So, but they think that we are cheating them. That is not true. So I said, by that, why should I get all the time get hurt? So I put Madeline is
That is it. Name is something, it is personal. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as you have an identity of your own, name
Madeline.
doesn't
I
have
wanted
to
to take that name
be.
is also one reason, because Mary Madeline is the Jesus main devotee. She is.
Okay.
So that name, what she had, the black remarks in her life, God didn't see all those things. Only
Okay.
saw the true soul. And she is become number one. So I thought, whatever is the past or whatever it is in our life, bad can go to that side. But the name should be. So I like that, particularly that name has a very, very touching, that also comes M. So I took it. That's it.
That the question was just to lighten up the atmosphere, because of course I do accept that when you say guru, I also have this thing to say. Guru is somebody who flawlessly gives it, and of course we can discuss definitely, Narendra, about this when you come on my show, which I've been wanting you to come on my show since a long time. So it is wonderful, Maalika, to talk to you. You've been a wonderful person for so long. You've shared so much of, you rather had a peekaboo into your heart, I should say, because you never manipulated words. You gave whatever the details were. You just said what it is like, and it is, I really appreciate that. And our audiences who are watching this are also thrilled to see you, meet you, and be this guiding light to so many of the students who want to continue dance, pursue dance, and of course a role model for several people who are stuck between, I wouldn't say they're stuck between worlds. That is what I say. It is very hard to find somebody there up there, and it is so hard to see somebody up there and stay up, look up to them and learn things. And now you have a kind of, I would say, the masthead. So people would look at that masthead to imbibe and say, okay, this is, if somebody like Maalika could do, I can also do, or probably achieve 1/4 of what it is. So it is really wonderful to see, and let us hope this pandemic ends soon and we all get to dance on stage soon. And of course, this is such a time that we all, this is one time that I can interact with so many artists, know their thought process, know them, their inner self, and reveal it to the world. And the world also appreciates and learns something in return when each one of self is coming
I
up.
want to say one last thing is saying,
Please.
if you follow the truth in your life, you can win every single battle in your life. They can be the battle difficult or can have toughest, but still, if you follow the real truth, that my life, my life itself is that people can say I don't play around with people's feeling, or I don't say unnecessary things to go in the bush. Straightforward is my life. So from that, you can judge that I like to straightforward and go with truth, so that your person is justified as an artist, as an anything. So my life is become only successful and content. I must say content. I'm content because I got what I wanted to do in my life, and I have no regrets. So till what I got till today, it is my best and best. No regrets. So I must say thank you to the God, and this interview is something different to me. I have not spoken so many things which to other people in my interview. This is something which is very, and I must give you the credit that you are also one of the soul like me. In what way means like choosing to dress, matching the dress, matching the background. You take so much effort, not that everybody used to do that with artists. So it is like challenging to come to your program. I think all the people who have come in the show is been such a great people, and you put me along with them. I think it is a real honor, and I wanted to say thanks to each and everyone who watched the show and will going to be watch the show to make this artist soul relationship. Two artists and with the souls which is going to be seen by different people in this world are going to realize so many nuances and jingles and so many things I can tell you. It's going to be a small feast with delicate menus and which favorably people like it. It's not need a big feast, too many dishes. Even with small dish, you can make people happy so that your stomach is full. You can only eat that much. So many things you can see, sometimes your stomach will get stuck. So that's the truth I wanted to say. Let God bless you for making this. It's many artists, their inner soul should talk, not just the mouth and your script of what you have learned. I only have done 10, but whatever I could speak is my experience. I don't have that flaunt of so many big words in my life, but I have a lot of feelings and truthness in my life, which I can share to many people. So that is my life. Thank you.
So sweet, Maalika. Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming over, sharing your life, sharing your, I would say, intimate journey through the pages of Facebook for so many of your fans, students, and the fraternity from the people from around the world. Because it takes a big heart to share your, I would always ask people, what are your minus things? What are your negative things? What are your setbacks that you stepped up and, you emerged as a winner? And all of them have consented and always have given their best to the world, because we always get to hear success stories. We all know, like Nange Pone Inge, when they perform. That is the reason even in my brochure, the poster, I never use Guru or as Narendra said. I just say, the person's name, Srimati or Shri, or just the name, and that's it. Because we are relating soul to soul connect, not with any fanfare or anything. I'm so grateful and happy for you consenting and being a part of this. Thank you once again, and of course, bearing my torture of how we dress, the background.
New thing I want to say in your soul is, behind you there is two more souls who are sitting, your son and your wife, who is going to be sitting there and being completely directing with so well. I think your son has been so beautiful, I must say. When you came for the trial, the way he was talking, the way he was coming, I think I must say thank you to him also. With that soul is not a normal soul. He is listening and is giving instruction. I think you are teaching him in the right path. So
certainly.
Thank you for your family also.
Thank you. I have my mother, I have my wife, I have my one son here. The other son is watching me from the other place. So it is like, it's definitely, yes, they're all my critics, and they always say every day we get this live session happens more or less like where they also enjoy and they're also part of it and all. Thank you again, once again. I would like to acknowledge that you've been a wonderful person.
Is it the first time anybody has thanked your family for being the souls behind your success?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that again. Thank you, Maalika, for graciously coming over and sharing your thoughts. Once again, I would like to thank all of you who witnessed this teet-to-teet with Maalika. That was Maalika Panicker, an acclaimed artist from Singapore is a who is a protege of Kalakshetra, who went out to carve a niche for herself. So this is again, as I promised, every day we have amazing artists coming over to this show, sharing their experiences. Tomorrow again, I'll meet you on Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana on the Facebook page, Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana, to bring one acclaimed, beautiful artist to share their heart out. And ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನವೂ ವಿಶ್ವ ನೃತ್ಯಗಾನ ಭೂಷಣ ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖಪುಟದ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಈ ಮುಖಪುಟದ ಸರಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಲಾವಿದ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಾಳೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ತಮ್ಮ ಮನದಾಳದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಸ್ಟೇ ಇಂಡೋರ್, ಸ್ಟೇ ಸೇಫ್, ಫೈಟ್ ಕೊರೋನಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ I would sign off for today, but see you tomorrow again at 6:30 sharp with another celebrity at Vishwa Nruthya Bhushana. Namaskar.